Today, on the 8th of November 2025, Anambra is having an off-cycle governorship election as the Independent National Electoral Commission has cleared 16 candidates. Polling units that we are having around Anambra State is approximately about 5,718 with 2.8 million registered voters. Are these voters coming out? Are they not coming out? What makes this election special is not just because it is an off-cycle election, but because this is the very first election to be held since we had a new sheriff in the Independent Electoral National Commission, INEC. I'm talking about the new appointed chairman, Professor Joash Amupitan. This election is going to determine what the 2027 general elections is going to be. How prepared is INEC? I am Nefisat Abdurrahman, and I'm going to be the moderator of this show as we analyze and bring you updates on what is unfolding in Anambra State as it decides its fate of who is going to be its governor from today. With me in the studio is Mr. James Quem, INEC correspondent and in-house analyst. It's good to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
And also to my right is Mr. Ademu Idakwo, an in-house analyst and the deputy editor of Political Stories. We're going to start now and talk about how far the show is going on in Anambra State. The governorship election is contested by 16 candidates, but among the lot, there are 4 major contenders. There is Charles Soludo of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, ABGA. There is Nicholas Ukachukwu of the All Progressive Congress, APC. There is Jude Ezenwafo of the People's Democratic Party and George Mogalu of the Labour Party, LP. Aside these 4, what we also need to put into consideration is that we have 2 female candidates. Yes, we have Ife Meludike of the African Action Congress and Indidi Christie Ole of the National Rescue Movement, NRM. With this standoff, with this alignment in place, the number of people, their parties, and the 2 ladies in question. I'll start with you, Mr. Quem. How would you say the election is looking so far?
Well, thank you so much. So to say, Anambrans, today is a day of destiny. It's a day for them to choose who will govern them in the next 4 years after the expiration of the tenure of the incumbent, I think from early next year. So far, we can say so good because reports have shown that there was true to its promise. INEC tried as much as possible in deployments. That is, staff reportedly started coming to polling units at least from 8 a.m., some as early as 7:45 a.m., that is 7:45. And though there are others that could not come, some polling units, general polling units, opening of polling units was on average early. The only issue is as from 10 a.m. in most of the polling units, even within the state capital, that is Oka, there are reports of low voter
turnout. Before we get into the turnout, let's compare the early resumption at the polling units by the ad hoc staff and the materials from INEC. Let's compare it with the 2021 election of Anambra and the 2017. Are we seeing progress in Nigerian elections generally? Are we seeing progress from what it used to be, arriving early?
Okay, yes. I think we have improved a great deal. Going by what I have seen this morning, by my own observation, the election in Anambra, INEC has really tried to have lived up to the expectation of the people, especially it has to do with early arrival. Except in some cases where you had pockets of protest, complaints from rural areas, where electoral officials and the security men could not arrive on time. But compared to what happened in 2021 in Anambra, I think this is fairly better.
So as it is now, you both agree that there is progress and we are heading somewhere. Talking about low turnout, as of 11 a.m. this morning, only 28 people had voted out of the 188 registered voters expected at polling unit 11, Cooperative Center 1. And at polling unit 12, out of 422 registered voters, only 41 had voted. At polling 13, only 66 out of the 796 registered voters have voted. We also saw videos of some youth playing football in a school, not minding what is going on or what if there's going to be a change or anything at all. Normal business activities were also seen still happening in some markets. I'll start with you, Mr. Ademo. Are we seeing a voter apathy here? What exactly is going on? I mean, you would think that with the generation we have, the level of noise that goes on social media, people should be more voter educated.
Well, you are right by saying that, but INEC need to go beyond that. INEC has tried in terms of mobilization for voters register, which the turnout was quite impressive. But in this case, the issue of voter apathy, I think they should go beyond allowing political parties to mobilize their persons. They should embark on voter education. That is very important. What they should do is to engage relevant stakeholders. We are talking of faith-based organizations like churches, mosques, even traditional rulers to come to their aid as we are preparing for 2027. The major challenge that INEC is going to have in 2027 is voter apathy. I can see it from now. Why?
You would have thought that it will be better than how it was in 2023.
Yes. Well, let's see, because it's too early to say. It's too early to call. But I am suggesting that INEC should embark on aggressive voter education so that people should be able to know why they should vote. The reason is that many Nigerians are disconnected from political participation because they are not happy with the leadership that usually come on board after they voted.
So, Mr. Kwem, are we seeing some form of trajectory here? We have a situation where elderly people have come out to vote this morning. We also seen most people at the polling units are women. So is there a chain? Is there a trajectory of, okay, women and elderly people vote more than young men and young people?
Well, the thing is complicated because going by the figures of registration in many of the continuous voter registration exercises, the youth in terms of age always take
the
highest percentage of registrants. It's quite curious that on the voting day, it now turned out to be
the other way around.
The elderly and maybe the female. It's understood when it comes to the issue of women, because if you go into the analysis of, let's say, the present continuous voters registration, all the figures released by INEC, you will see that when it comes to gender, the category of gender, the female gender, the women top the list when it comes to gender. So that one is given. Seeing more women at the polling unit is given because from most of the registration exercise, the result shows that they are the people that turn out in masses to register. Then coming to the issue of youth, but curiously as I said, when you come to age, the age bracket is always a youth.
Yes.
And when you talk about agitation, it's a youth. When you talk about people with the strength, even to trek miles to go and vote, are the youths. Because it is said that youths are the leaders of tomorrow. And It is when you participate by electing, because come on, when you talk about franchise entails the right to vote and be voted for. So the curiosity here is, if our Nigerian youths are not coming out to vote, how would they expect to be voted for? So to me, it is a call on the young Nigerians, because they are the ones that this country rightly belongs to. Because they have the population, because they have the strength, because they have the wherewithal, whereas the old woman in the village has no access to social media, and because English being the lingua franca of Nigeria, most of these messages, most of these sensitization messages, everything about the election is dominated by our lingua franca being English. And most of these aged people, they may not be that technological savvy, they may not be that, in fact, they will not be up to date in terms of
what is going on.
So it's so far that I keep on repeating that the whole thing is very curious. You see that our youths are dissatisfied. Well, I can't speak for them actually, but then something needs to be done, and there is need for a change in mindsets. The mindsets believing that even if I vote, my vote will not count. In many situations, vote counted, and we still believe that vote still counts.
Could it be that what the Nigerian youth are looking to do presently is a social media politics? Because why come out to say you want change and you're not going out to vote just to see that the person you believe in is being elected? Anyway, aside from who is voting and who is not voting, as of yesterday, we saw the Nigerian police force posting their helicopter surveilling Anambra State and telling us that they are also ready. Security so far has been intact. We've not had any report of any breach or any protest or any activity whatsoever against what a proper electoral process should be in Anambra. What do you guys think about this security pull-up?
The security has really tried in this regard, because this is the first time I'm seeing this high level of preparedness. Like in 2023, there are a lot of crises in many states during the election. And I think maybe the Inspection of Police and other security agencies are learning from that past mistakes of allowing that loopholes or leaving it very carelessly for this crowd to jump into it and create chaos. So today, what I'm seeing in Anambra, we have not had any major crisis since the election commences this morning. And we are hoping that when it goes to like this till the evening, we'll be able to give them a pass mark. And we are calling on them, especially the security formation, to think of what they should do in 2027 by improving on what they have done in Anambra today. Thank you.
Oh, okay. The gadgets, the beavers, and other gadgets that INEC are using, majority of the reports we have heard is that they are in good condition. However, we saw a report of malfunction in Onitsha community, Fegi Ward 5. Let's compare the progress so far. Last year, 2023, 2021, even in Anambra, and here we are today. Only one report we have received so far of a malfunction of beavers. Are we seeing progress?
Okay, the deployment of technology in election in the country generally has improved drastically.
Yeah.
Because from the test running of card reader of 2015, which many credited as the reason why the main opposition, APC then, put out or removed the incumbent PDP led by former President Goodluck Jonathan, which brought in late former President
Muhammadu
Muhammadu Buhari, may he so rest in peace. So there has been the trajectory of improvement upon improvement. It is a card reader that metamorphosed into faces to what today we have the beavers.
Beavers.
So on a general note, I can say that technology, in as much as it's there must be challenges. There is possibility of malfunctioning. But then when it is not large scale, we will not blame it so far on the commission, because if I can recall vividly, or if I can recall very well, I think INEC, I'm being careful in order not to misquote them or to quote them out of context, but the practice has been that there's always an arrangement for either replacements, because these are devices that are powered through electricity. And in places where there's lack of electricity, there is always a provision for generators for them to be charged. So I think from what you said, the case is not rampant. We just have an isolated case now. So as we monitor development, from there we'll be able to reach a conclusion. But I want to believe, though not speaking for INEC, but I believe INEC should have an alternative, because though they are configured, they can be reconfigured, because they don't just go. In fact, there must be extra beavers or extra gadgets that are needed, because if not at a particular polling unit, at least at what the ward level, which they call a registration area, RA. So I know that normally such cases at the polling unit could, because there is normally a supervisory presiding officer who supervises the entire polling unit within a ward. So let's still give them benefit of the doubt that things will turn out better.
So we have seen a couple of the candidates cast their vote. We've seen George Mugalu of the LP cast his vote. We've also seen the APC governorship aspirant cast his vote. And looking at it now, you would wonder, there is this level of anticipation Nigerians are having for 2027 general elections. What are the links between this electoral process that is going on today in Anambra State and that of the 2027? Anambra is just a state election that is going. So whatever is happening now, we should be looking at it at a larger scale. Will INEC be able to manage the situation when it comes to 36 or about 34, 33 states and the Federal Capital Territory in 2027? The stakes are high. Yes.
Okay. Let me once again, all those things that are happening, each election give room for improvement on another one. Shortly after this governorship election, I think starting next year in February, we'll be having area councils election in the federal capital here. So we expect that INEC should, because what is happening now, remember we also have two off-cycle governorship elections before the 2027. And just like you said, if INEC, or if you cannot manage, that is why the adherent of Christianity, I think St. Paul said in one particular that if you cannot manage your own house, you cannot manage the bigger church of God. So if the onus is on INEC now, if we can't manage one state, which is Anambra, how can you manage two states? Because next year we'll be having Ekiti and Oshun, though they are not happening simultaneously. But then how can you now handle, because we may be having, I think, 22 or more than 20 governorship elections in 2027. We'll be having presidential, we'll be having 360 House of Representatives seat election. We'll be having 109 Senate election taking place together with the presidential simultaneously. So whatever thing that is going to happen here, the election accreditation normally starts by 8 to 2 p.m. So I think it will be too early to call or to point out that this is the fault and where is the fault, but we are all out watching. And it's so happening that the new INEC chairman, a reverend professor, a senior advocate of Nigeria, and he has given us a lot of assurance that deployment fully, security,
check.
450,000 policemen deployed to one state. And we are now just counting, we are just overseeing the whole situation, because it is not, for we lawyers of democracy, we never wish INEC to fail, because a failure of INEC means a failure of democracy.
Yes.
And democracy is a system of government which it is claimed that is the best all over the world. So we always want INEC to succeed. We want our democracy to be deepened. So that now goes back to the issue of our party. Because if democracy is deepened, people will now know that my vote counts.
Yes.
And maybe, I don't want to foot drag, but still on the issue of our party. Please, Nigerians should not over-concentrate their attention at the federal. Because like the youth were saying, in 2023, we see everything. They were all out. They needed a presidential candidate. But going back to their states, they failed focus attention on governorship election. And as President Tinubu will always say, Bola Tinubu will always say, recently he told the governor, go home and wet the ground.
Okay. Most analysts have said, and Nigerians generally always have the saying that the incumbent governor or president or whosoever that is coming back will always win the election. Are we seeing that? Is that still going to happen in Anambra? Are there some changes? Is the trajectory shifting? Or does it look like Soludo is still going to come back as the governor from the campaigns we've been seeing, the turnout of people and all of that?
Well, it is a clear issue. Let me say that. But I am not here to declare who's going to win the election.
But at least we've seen analysts predicting, we've seen people saying, okay. We have online campaigns, and whether we like it or not, these things have a way of shaping the things that actually happen in reality. Okay,
when you talk of the campaign, all of them put out a very impressive one. I think those major political parties put out a very impressive political campaigns. But what is on ground is that Soludo, as an incumbent governor, has the structure in the state. The oppositions were disunited because most of them even came out of APC. APC. Some of them came out of APC. And they don't have the structure like what Soludo is holding. Soludo is somebody who's having the local government chairman. He has the commissioners, he has everybody around there. Although the APC as a party has formidable team in person of the governorship flag bearer and his deputy, Senator, that lady. See, the lady also has a stake. But the truth of the matter is, they will not be able to undo the incumbent governor because of his, Igbo people believing in the tradition of Apga. Apga is a name in every household in Anambra. The oppositions are trying, but I'm not seeing them beating him. He's the candidate to beat.
Do you also support what Mr. Ahmed just said?
Before I go that, I think you made a comment that it's always difficult to remove. Incumbent governors have been removed.
Yes, but if you look critically in the history of Nigeria, not just the governors, even the presidents, most times you find them completing their 8 years in office. So it's just about a few examples where you see that, the people, we are not having this person come back and all of that.
Well, I'm basically a journalist. In one of our trainings on election reportage, they asked us never announce results before INEC. So without announcing the results, you look at it very well, because just like Mr.
Adamo.
Yeah, just like Mr. Adamo observed, APC, the candidate of Labour Party George
Morgan.
Morgan, former national auditor of APC, former chief executive of NIWA, an agency appointment which was, you know, he got the appointment courtesy of being an APC chieftain. Sapor, yes, I think the candidate of YPP also bought the APC nomination form and campaigned vigorously. But at the end of the day, Nicholas Okachuku emerged.
Yes.
So, in my own thinking, I'm seeing 3 APC person contesting against one Afghan candidate being a sitting governor.
Yeah.
And the governor too has a robust relationship with the center, which is controlled by the APC. So
now this is where the drama begins.
In fact, some analysts or some political insiders or observers have said that already there is a deal between the incumbent governor and the president.
That is a huge
I will
thing to
do
say.
it for me. Do it for me. Apologies to the minister. Apologies to the minister of FCT Wiki. Do it for me. I do it for you. So, to many analysts, the Anambra election is more or less a kind of do it for me. I do it for you. Do it for me in 2025. I do it for you in 2027. Because though as an opposition governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, though anyway it's common, none of the opposition governors like what obtained before, you know, is attacking the ruling party, you know, the president. So, but I think this is also one of the most friendly opposition governors with the ruling APC-led federal government of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
But come to think of it, this issue of do it for me, I do it for you. What? It's strange because I mean there is somebody from APC that is also a contestant, a candidate for this same position. So instead of having this debate with Professor Charles Soludo that you do it for me and I do it for you in 2027. How about the other way around where we have the center supporting the APC in quotes, because all these are just political analysts saying what they think. It is not on book, it is not on record. But I mean, politics, anything can happen. Anything can be going on under the carpet that the eyes cannot see. So imagine a situation where it is the other way around. Okay. Soludo, you are not going to be here. I need my own person to be here. I mean, we've had issues where you see, okay, I'm going to give you this position in 2027, but okay, just step down for this APC person so that I'll give you a better position in 2027. Have we not thought about something like that? I mean, something like that could have played out.
Is there any position you think is better than governor? Not even the vice president.
No.
Okay, it's all right. Let my senior colleague.
Well, in politics, everything is possible.
It's possible, of course.
Everything is possible. So, but in this case, if you do it for me, I do it for you. It's just a hearsay.
Yes, it is a hearsay.
Just a hearsay.
It is a hearsay.
And Soludo, who is an incumbent governor, going by his body languages and efforts he has been putting in place throughout this campaign, it shows that he's well prepared for this election. His major advantage over this opposition is because they are disunited. Everybody is speaking for himself.
For himself.
Just like my colleague has said, the 3 or 2 candidates pull out of APC because of their grievances to join another party to slug it out with Soludo. And as they were going, I don't think they go with many supporters. Some of the supporters remain behind in the APC. Sorry, in the APC, yes.
In the APC.
To fight, to support their own party. But the APC as a party does not have stronghold in Anambra. So there is no way do it for me and do it for you may turn upside down. Because the election look like Soludo is more prepared than the other candidates. So it will be he will win the election. Let me just say it.
Okay, fingers crossed as we wait for the elections to be over, and then we'll hear what the results are. I can't wait, to be very, very honest. Let's still go back on the issue of security in Anambra State. You would agree with me that this is one of the most peaceful so far we've had in recent times when it comes to electoral process in Anambra State. And then the whole sit at home issue, there was no message this time around that, oh, sit at home, don't go out to vote, oh, don't, nobody's allowed to go out, stay at home, do this, even though it's not on a Monday, because we know normally it's mostly on Mondays that these things happen. But I think in 2021 or 2017, there was that threat, there was that issue coming up. Nobody should come out to vote, stay at home, and all of that. What changed this time around? I'll start with you.
All right.
Well, you see, I don't want to join the claim of the federal government.
Okay.
That it has improved insecurity. It could be true. It could be alluded to that. And do we still believe that maybe the riot act read to, in fact, I think the IGP, the Inspector General of Police, during stakeholders meeting in Anambra, made a statement in what journalists called the Red Riot Act, or warned the IPOP, the indigenous people of Biafra and its allies, such as the Eastern Nigerian Security Network, and other non-state actors that stay off Anambra election. So I don't know, maybe the warning has reached them, or maybe they just say, okay, election comes one day, just this Saturday, you do what you want to do.
And go back to the train.
And go back.
And I always make this, I don't like to, anyway, but the stories we heard from Northeast, maybe let's say a state like Borno, I can't remember, even in the heat of Boko Haram around
2015.
And this election took place that day.
Yes.
So I think the non-state actors,
doesn't come out.
I don't see that those who maybe have some regional agitation or they have a personal ideology they are pushing, they really have anything serious concerning when it comes to election. Because when you look at about the security issue being disrupted, election disruption, you heard about talks which are allegedly sponsored by
politicians.
I think as far as my memory can recall it, I can't remember when, maybe, I know, okay, I think no.
But it's a different scenario entirely. It's a different scenario entirely, because this, the Boko Haram and the likes of other people, they don't come out to tell people, sit at home. Do not come out. But in this other case, we see these people giving this order, do not come out, putting out press releases, putting out press statements, do not come out, sit at home. So I think they are quite different, if you ask me.
It's okay. Apart from the federal government effort in taming those monstrous people, the governor himself has really tried in terms of security. You can see that he set up a vigilante group, although which is not very legal, but he has used them to control the security situation in Anambra State. Like, for instance, there was a time that some traditional rulers were into money ritual, and they are kidnapping young people, taking them from their father's houses to go and use them for money. And when that vigilante came on board, most of those things have been abolished. And the man was also dealing with the traditional rulers. He put them on their toes to ensure that their domains are well secured. And I think that has contributed to the success we are recording today as far as the security is concerned.
So we would all agree that it looks like there's a lot of development, not just in the electoral commission's aspect, but even in security, because even Young Africa has just commended INEC so far for the job they are doing. Right now, we will take a short break where you're going to see some of the activities that have been going on in Anambra today, and also hear what the former presidential candidate in the 2023 elections under the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has to say after voting. Stay tuned.
Okay, hold on. Please, if I certify you can move this way. Maya, you must show me your. No, just one person. Yeah, Papa, one person. Thank you. Sir, let me see your identity. Okay, hold on. So we have only Afghan and ADC on ground.
So, excuse me, what's the name of this polling unit?
This polling unit is GCC. This is GCC. Okay. And it's a polling station.
Wait now.
This is GCC. The polling station comprises of 010, 024, and 025.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what have you done? Have you started?
We are about to start.
What's the time now? What's the time?
9:55. This is 9:55.
And you are just started?
Yeah, because the canopy and every other thing was not ready as at when we came. We've been here for a while before they brought all of these things.
Okay.
Yes, thank
Which
you,
party do you represent? ADC. How do you feel that they are just started? What's your name, please?
My name is John Kumar.
An ADC agent?
Yes.
And they are starting now. How do you feel?
We are starting now.
How do you feel that they are starting now?
There was a delay in
party agents for 024.
canopy and the other things.
Okay. Can you also say Sir, can I talk to you?
Yes.
What's your name?
Well, tell me, Nigeria Party.
What's your name?
John Chukuma.
Can everybody hear me?
What's in Nigeria Party? See what we are about to start by this time.
Okay.
Once the agent come here early myself, they can hear you just start.
All
They
right.
have to start with their consent.
This is
Sorry, can I talk to you? Are you a voter?
Yes, I'm a voter.
How?
this is
May we know your name?
Chinedu.
For how long have you been here?
BS is around what, 8 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you are patient enough to wait now?
Yes.
So how do you feel waiting?
Well, it's part of the process.
Okay.
So we're being patient. We need to do what we need
this
to
form
do.
is called
And hope everything goes very well.
Can you guys
good
hear
luck.
me?
Thank you very much.
This
Can I talk to you?
ECFA, and it is the result.
What's your name?
I'm the tractor. Well,
It is empty. There is nothing
Are you a
inside.
voter?
I hope everybody can see.
When did you come?
This is for 024.
came sharp 7 o'clock.
Okay, and you are patient enough to wait?
The ballot paper.
Interesting.
That's no problem.
There's large turnout of voters here. They are all waiting patiently at this FSTC OCA polling unit. Except that the polling agents came late, but voters are eager to wait and make sure that they exercise their civic right. A lot of them are checking their names on the pasted list. This Okechukwu Obeta reporting from Federal Government College Technical Oka polling unit.
He's going through the pre-processes for him to exercise his franchise, and any moment from now, he's just be handing over the ballot paper, and so he's going to bring
I didn't see this happening. So for you people who are journalists, you must cooperate. This must be stopped.
Your Excellency, you are not on the ballot in this election, but we know you belong to the Labour Party. We want to ask you what you think are the expectations of this election, especially as it has to do with your candidate, Dr. George Moore?
Well, for me, yes, you're right. I'm a member of Labour Party, and I support the Labour Party candidate. But quite frankly, everybody that is involved with this election is my brothers, my sisters, and everything. I'm not in ballot. I've been governor 13 years ago, so I'm not in this. I'm strictly in Champions League of Nigerian politics and contesting to be president of Nigeria. So for people who are in first division, I wish them well. And I'm sure they will do very well. Whoever wins, let him serve the people. Nigeria needs service now. We need to pull our people out of poverty. Our people need to know that schools are working. It's no longer grandstanding. They need to do the hospitals, which is why we're supporting the nursing schools to be able to produce the manpower that is required for every village to have at least a primary health care where people can go to.
Okay, this election is a litmus test for the new ANEC chairman. In 2027, given your experience from what is happening currently in this governor's election, what hope do you have for 2027 general election?
The new ANEC chairman and tell him to look at what happened to his predecessors. All I can say to him is that the name and reputation his children will live in is a test. None of us will be in position forever. So it is important that while you're there, try and serve the people. Try and serve humanity, try and serve society. We have observed the election. I didn't see this happening. So for you people who are journalists, you must cooperate. This must be stopped.
Your Excellency, you are not on the ballot in this election, but we know you belong to the Labour Party. I want to ask you what you think are the expectations of this election, especially as it has to do with your candidate, Dr. George Moore.
Well, for me, yes, you're right. I'm a member of Labour Party, and I support the Labour Party candidate. But quite frankly, everybody that is involved with this election is my brothers, my sisters, and everything. I'm not in ballot. I've been governor 13 years ago, so I'm not in this. I'm strictly in Champions League of Nigerian politics and contesting to be president of Nigeria. So for people who are in first division, I wish them well. And I'm sure they will do very well. Whoever wins, let him serve the people. Nigeria needs service now. We need to pull our people out of poverty. Our people need to know that schools are working. It's no longer grandstanding. They need to do the hospitals, which is why we're supporting the nursing schools to be able to produce the manpower that is required for every village to have at least a primary health care where people can go to.
Okay, this election is a litmus test for the new ANEC chairman. In 2027, given your experience from what is happening currently in this governor's election, what hope do you have for 2027 general election?
The new ANEC chairman and tell him to look at what happened to his predecessors. All I can say to him is that the name and reputation his children will live in is a test. None of us will be in position forever. So it is important that while you're there, try and serve the people.
Welcome back. We are still analyzing and updating you on the happenings in Anambra State as they have their off-cycle governorship elections today. You just watched the former governor of Anambra State and a former presidential candidate under the umbrella of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, after voting, speaking to journalists, and it's very interesting the angle at which he spoke from. Yes, I am a member of Labour Party, but I am ready for anybody who is capable of doing the job to win the election. All we need is good governance. This brings us to the question, good governance in Anambra. Is this something that has been experienced or something that the people are still yearning for? And the comments coming from Peter Obi. I'll start with you, Mr. Amadou. What do you think about his comments?
Well, Peter Obi spoke like a statesman. the comment is it shows that he is comfortable with whoever emerged as the governor of that state, being an indigenous of that state, and being a former governor of the state. I think that goes to show that he believes in all of them, that whoever win can take Anambra to the next level.
To the next level. And that's very interesting, because you would have thought some other person would come to say, oh, I want this person to win. This person is from my party. I know this person. I know this person is going to do well and all of that. But here he is, not pointing at anybody, saying all he wants is for his state to be governed properly and all of that. A way forward, progress and all of that. What do you have to say on this?
It's like I would differ a little because sorry, seriously, because having covered politics over the years, I know that politicians, if you are not for me, you are against me. And politicians, they don't sit on the fence, because Peter Obi, when he contested in 2023, one of the issues against him was the issue of no structure, because many say that he did not have structures. He did not have governors. He did not have senators or sitting members of National Assembly or State Assembly or local government chairman who would have worked for him. And maybe the way politics is practiced here, maybe protected his vote, because there's a difference between voting and protecting the votes. So I expect him, as a Labour Party leader in the country, to go all out, campaign for his candidate, persuade voters, and even work seriously to ensure that, because so far, apart from Abia State, where Dr. Alex Oti is a governor on the platform of Labour Party, I thought this is a very good opportunity for him to make sure that he produces the governor of Anambra State, so that going into 2027, he may have, because we have a good number of people who won election at least National and State Assembly on the platform of Labour Party during the 2023 election. Though some people are defecting here and there, some of them might have defected, but I expected him as a politician that he is to try to have structure on ground to make sure that his state is being governed, because
from the Labour Party, by the
because
Labour Party.
The other election took place before the 2023
but
election.
Peter Obi, would you say
post 2023, I expected Obi to be firm and work hard to make sure that a candidate of his party win the election, so that he now have at least his own state, because when he come out campaigning about Labour Party,
he will have governors.
Yes, I have my own.
But would you, how would you even think that Peter Obi would not sit on the fence? Because whether we like it or not, right now Peter Obi is sitting on the fence. He does not belong to the ADC, but you see him going to their meetings and all of that, and he is still a member of the Labour Party. So of course, how do you want somebody like that to come out and say, oh, I'm supporting LP? Because if he says that, there's every possibility that people from the ADC will not be happy with him. And if he also says, oh, he is supporting the ADC, I mean, you and I know that people have been crying that, okay, choose where you want to be. So it's kind of, he's just trying to play safe, whether we like it or not.
In politics, you don't play safe.
What
Peter Obi did was what Buhari did. I think in Imo State in 2019, ahead of 2019, he went there, he said, vote for me. But vote for who you want to vote. He did the same thing, I think, in Ogun State. So we don't always, and he was heavily criticized for that. So I expected Obi to make sure that he produces
a governor. It's going to be very difficult for him at this point if he doesn't choose where he belongs. You cannot, this is not a I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody case. And I mean, it's not going to, you have to choose a spot. This is where I stand. So we will know your people.
Well, when I say he acted like a statesman, I was looking at a situation. What do I mean by this? Obi is a residual leader, somebody who has influence on people in Anambra. And Obi,
will this influence bring votes in 2027?
Okay. You know, let me say something. In 2023, he had no governor in Anambra, but he won the state. Do you believe that? During the presidential election.
That's true. That's true.
Do you believe that? I think he won Anambra.
No, he won.
He won.
Okay.
He won.
So that is to tell you where he's going. I quite agree with you to some extent when you say he was maybe so selfish. That is the meaning, because he looks selfish in his attempt to say whoever emerges is comfortable with that. Not minding that his own political party is also fielding a candidate who is going to be in an election, who is in this election. However, when you watch it very carefully, Obi has positioned himself in a position that if election is coming in 2027, he'll be comfortable holding Anambra because he did not offend anyone in this election. I think that is the game he was playing.
Can you play politics without offending anyone, even when you don't say anything?
So now, having won that election in 2023, I think he's banking on that to think that all of them are his people, and he started acting as a statesman.
Okay, I think this brings us to the end of this segment of bringing you analysis and updates on what is happening in Anambra as it decides to on who its governor is going to be for the next 4 years or so. Stay tuned. We'll be coming back with the second segment of the show. We'll be right back.
I didn't see this happening. So for you people who are journalists, you must cooperate. This must be stopped.
Your Excellency, you are not on the ballot in this election, but we know you belong to the Labour Party. We want to ask you what you think are the expectations of this election, especially as it has to do with your candidate, Dr. George Moore.
Well, for me, yes, you're right. I'm a member of Labour Party, and I support the Labour Party candidate. But quite frankly, everybody that is involved with this election is my brothers, my sisters, and everything. I'm not in ballot. I've been governor 13 years ago, so I'm not in this. I'm strictly in Champions League of Nigerian politics and contesting to be president of Nigeria. So for people who are in first division, I wish them well. And I'm sure they will do very well. Whoever wins, let him serve the people. Nigeria needs service now. We need to pull our people out of poverty. Our people need to know that schools are working. It's no longer grandstanding. They need to do the hospitals, which is why we're supporting the nursing schools to be able to produce the manpower that is required for every village to have at least a primary health care where people can go to.
Okay, this election is a litmus test for the new ANEC chairman. In 2027, given your experience from what is happening currently in this governor's election, what hope do you have for 2027 general election?
The new ANEC chairman and tell him to look at what happened to his predecessors. All I can say to him is that the name and reputation his children will live in is a test. None of us will be in position forever. So it is important that while you're there, try and serve the people. Try and serve humanity, try and serve society. We have observed the election. I didn't see this.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688